the full evening start, and Derek waited patiently. At last, the whistle began to make a noise out loud. It was finally a dark engine, but was very small. He was very old. He shoved sternly in front of Derek. Derek was very scared. "Are you the ghost engine of Christmas that has yet to come?" he said. "Spirit, speak," said Derek. But the engine didn't speak. He was coupled to Derek and took him to the future. Derek closed his eyes, but the ghost engine used his magic. It was daylight again, and this time the big engines were at the sheds, and Stephen was at the sheds again. The dark spirit engine showed Derek what was really happening. "Haven't you heard that Derek isn't going to be is not going to be in our railway anymore?" said Arthur. Yes, said Stephen. Yes, said Stephen. "I've heard Duck is going to take him back to the other railway in Boxing Day." "That sounds very interesting," said Neville. "We won't need that smelly diesel anymore," laughed Molly, and the three engines laughed. But Derek was so confused. While the engines were too busy laughing, the turntable already turned the spirit engine around. This time, he was coupled to Derek at the back and took him to meet his doom. "Where are you taking me?" said Derek. The engine didn't talk. He didn't even speak to Derek, and Derek was still confused. At last, the spirit engine took Derek to meet his doom. He showed him what was really going to happen. There, in front of the engine, was four trucks, and the diesel shunned in a shed. Derek was shocked. "Spirit," he said, "if I don't change, is this how my life is going to end?" The spirit didn't speak. "Spirit, I will change. I will!" At last it became daytime again, and when Derek opened his eyes, he realized that the engines he saw from before was just a dream. "Oh," said Derek, I can't believe it," he said to himself. "I just realized it was a dream. I've just realized now that I have to change." His driver finally came to see Derek. "Good morning, Derek," he said. "Merry Christmas." Derek smiled happily. "Merry Christmas to you, driver," he said. His driver was surprised. Derek," he said, "what happened to you?" Derek explained to his driver about the dreams. It was just your imagination. It's true, you know," said Derek. Just take me out to the harbour and I'll explain everything." And his driver was on board Derek, and Derek was out of the docks.